been part of my MO. If I go off on somebody, it's emotions. It's a lot of emotions and tears involved in it. And that just ticks them off. It ticks them off, and then it pisses me off the end. But I was just cut cold. I was blocking everybody. Everybody was blocking me. I was blocking everybody. So I thought I just need to go to boxing. I went to this boxing gym. Everything's okay. I started going off on the people at the gym. There's this one dude, he started liking me. I was like, nah, I ain't having it. I couldn't stand men no more. I went off on him. But it was like a little, it was kind of a scene. But it was even kids at the gym. I didn't care. I went off on him. He said I scared him. I was like, please. The owner didn't say nothing. He like let me come back. They were kind of like concerned. There was this other person there. I felt she was scared of me. I felt everyone was kind of scared, but that was just the start of it. They was like, whoa, like what the? And they was just like, cause I just went off on out of no, I was just having bursts for no reason. I was so angry. I was punching the bag on my backpack, and I just broke it right there in front of everybody. I didn't care. I was like, ugh! I had so much rage. Everybody just looked at me. They was like scared. And then I went off on him. But this is where it got really bad. Really bad. And sometimes I wish I never went to that gym. But I just didn't know how else to deal with it. I thought boxing would help me. I had no peace of mind. I was literally being tormented. And this is how I know it wasn't me. Another thing, that the anger that was possessing me, it's going to be, for the people that know me, it's going to be kind of hard for them to believe. And that's why it's really hard for me to make this video. Because I already have scars on my arm. So they are already going to be like, oh, you were already possessed. You've been possessed. Like, what's the difference? Or they're going to say, it's just really hard. So if anyone that I know they're not going to, it's unbelievable. I'm uncredible. I did this on my own choice. This is a different video. I think it was demonic influences, but it wasn't because I wasn't possessed. Because if I was possessed, hurting myself, I would have just it would have been a lot worse than this. I did this to myself. And that's going to be for another video. But this, like I said, this anger was something different. Very different about this anger and rage. I was already dealing with my own pain, my own trauma, my own everything. And people are going to say, oh, you were emotionally trauma dumping or whatever. Because I've done that before, but not in this type of way. I felt that I had a purpose there at that gym, a spiritual purpose or whatever. There was a reason why I was there, but I just could not deal with this anger no more. So basically, long story short, I went off on everybody in the gym. I blew up their phone. I texted them on Instagram. I said some like crazy stuff, cursing everybody out, just saying stuff that don't even make sense. Just like, I hate everyone, blah, blah, blah. That's why they think that I was trauma dumping. But I felt that spirit was using my own pains and this anger and trying to stir it up and mix it up. Like yellow and purple don't mix. And it just did not come out well. But even though if it's my own pain, I usually I don't do that. I would have to be pussed. But this felt, I swear, trolling my mind. I don't even know why I went off on them. I don't know these people like that. I didn't know them long enough for me to do that, I would have to know someone from like months at a time to just finally I mean, we all like that when we in our emotions and then anger gets involved. It wasn't even that long. I just couldn't take it no more. I texted them all like, F everybody. I know you guys are talking trash about me. I was just done. The coach was concerned. I'm pretty sure everybody thought I was psychotic. I understand. I get it. And I really didn't know how to deal with this, but he was trying to help me. Even him trying to help me was just making me angrier. Angrier. I was just so mad at everybody. I had nobody in my life. If I had anyone in my life, they was going to get it. That's how bad it was. I never dealt with this anger before. No matter how much hurt I am, I don't just do that. So, months go by, like a month or two, he tell me I need to go to therapy. Just take therapy, and he would think about letting me come back even after I went off of everybody. Everybody blocked me. Everyone just cut me off, and as they said. I was really starting to care about everyone. And it was really hard for me to forgive myself. And that was another thing I was fighting. It was really hard. So I got into therapy. I started going to therapy. I still had this anger, but I just, even when I went to therapy, I went off on the therapist. It was bad. I had like this voice that wasn't mine. And I started thinking to myself like, yo, is it because I'm fed up? Or it makes me angry just thinking about it because I already have my own anger and pain to deal with. Why and I need to go around hating everybody? Them strangers. I have 3 sessions. And things are kind of looking a little okay. I let him know, like, I thought I was getting better. And he was thinking about letting me come back. Something happened, something like triggered me again. But, and I was keeping I still had that anger. I wasn't gonna get mad, but I had called him, and I should have done that. But I'm actually glad that this happened because I was actually literally about to go back, and we discussed this, we talked about it, and I felt that there's no way nobody's gonna want me around. Like after what happened, they don't even want me around. And he was like, nah, everybody has their own problems. We're not thinking about that. Da da da. Come to find out, I was right, but even after I found out I was right, hard for me to accept that, but I wasn't gonna get mad. I was just, you know what, whatever. But I still had this anger that I was dealing with that I knew wasn't mine. And when I called him and tried to vent to him, let him know, understand that I'm not coming back. It's not good. It wouldn't be a good idea. He was telling me, he was something, like, I was already mad with my anger, knowing that nobody wanted me around. And then with that tormenting spirit anger, that too. But that's what, because he was the only person in my life other than the guy that liked me that was really communicating with me. I was communicating with nobody. Then it was game over. I went off on him so bad, but it wasn't that bad, but it was how I went off. It was like a cycle. It was very similar to how I went off on my friend's mom, was I would never do in a million years. How I went off on my sister, it was kind of similar. And I was like, yo, I don't even talk like that. He told me not to reach back out to him. So now everyone at the gyms blocked me. They don't want nothing to do with me, which is fine. It's perfect, understandable. It hurt me for a long time. It really did. It broke my heart. Because they already thought I was crazy psycho anyways because of my scars. That's everyone. And that was another thing the anger was telling me, that everyone was thinking these thoughts about me. I was having these thoughts in my head. Usually I'll have these thoughts subconsciously, like full awareness, but it wouldn't cause me to act like that. But having these thoughts like as if they were literally talking to me, saying, oh, this person feels this way about you, blah blah blah. Everybody at the gym, and I was going off on everybody. But anyways, so I was on the phone with the guy that liked me. We're just friends. I don't have nobody. I remember I was on the phone with him. He's the only one that stayed in contact with me for whatever reason. That same day after he told me not to reach back out to him, I was so angry. Everything was just circling around me. Like I felt so dizzy, really dizzy. What's going on? What's going on? I was on the phone with him for an hour. I was venting to him about my hurt, my pain. We got off the phone, and this is where I realized it wasn't me. So I go into Publix, and at this point, I just accepted it as in, this is just who I am. This is me. This is me. This anger's mine. I go into Publix to get some chicken, and this is when things turn. As I was so angry, and that pain hurt. After it was all said and done, there was nothing I could do. And I felt, this is what I did, man. No matter how sorry I am, I had no forgiveness. My heart felt so heavy, really heavy. I felt something was going in or going. I didn't know. I was breathing really, really hard. Really hard. It started to slow down for me. I was walking, my eyes was really low. My eyes started like rolling uncontrollably. Like as possessed, like no, but just really low. And as I was walking slow. And my heart was like beating. I've never had this happen to me before. I was walking so I had to record this part of the video on another day because the camera died. So as I was walking into Publix, I realized that my steps were becoming uncontrollable. And that's when it really scared me. My intent was to go into the chicken, to get chicken, the rotisserie chicken. And I realized I ended up in produce and I wasn't even intentionally meaning to go to the fruits. And also I felt, never in my life have I ever felt this intense power. I felt this strong, intense power within me. Something was just about to take over. And the only reason why it didn't take over was because I didn't allow it to. That's not who I am. I'm not a mean, monster, evil, wicked person. Realized it left. And then I just been dealing with my own anger, feeling lost within my own anger now that I'm dealing with and struggling with. And the things that I did when I was possessed with that anger. That wasn't necessarily me at all. I felt it left me that day. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Start spazzing out on people physically. Just, that's what it felt like. I felt like I was gonna black out. So, and also I just want to mention, ever since I've started going to that gym, ever since I got kicked out, basically, my life hasn't been the same. It has not been the same. And I don't know if it's a good or maybe it's just something I don't understand yet, but so basically the whole point of this video is to talk about my experience being possessed by an evil spirit. And that it's really real. That this is really happening. Satan tried to possess me. Kind of like how he possessed Judas.
We'll see definitively a lot of anger. Have to prepare for a more angry world.